Check it out.
All right. Lee Sterling, handicapper to the gods, ParamountSports.com, joins us on the Coors Light guest line. We're all excited about tomorrow. SEC football gets kicked off at 11 a.m., and Lee Sterling and his team nailed their 40 to 50 unit selection last week as Lee was all over Central Florida to beat Georgia Tech, and they did, 49-21. And they are on a roll, and he may have another one that he's going to tell us about in a few minutes. But we want to start with the Tito's Vodka Bloody Mary game tomorrow, and that is Florida at Ole Miss, and the line is hovering around 14. Lee, can Ole Miss cover at Vaught Hemingway tomorrow against this Florida Gators team that brings back a lot of pieces and didn't have any really disruption with their coaching staff either?
Yeah, that certainly helps. That's one of the things that's going to be a problem in this COVID times to have a returning coordinator, returning quarterback, and an offensive line that returns a lot of starters. So here's the thing about Ole Miss. They're going to have to be more diversified on offense. Last year, the running game was pretty good, averaged 5.4 yards per carry, but Florida's defense only gives up 3.2 yards per carry. So third and long has not been Ole Miss's friend on offense. They only threw for 10 combined touchdown passes to two quarterbacks last year. But John Rice Plumlee and Corral, these two guys, they do return their top running back, top three receivers. So they should be improved here, and that's what Lane Kiffin does. He does a real good job putting together the offense. Look what they did at FAU. They were head and shoulders above anyone in that conference. They dominated. Florida does return Kyle Trask, but they graduated their top running back, two of their top three receivers, and except for Tennessee Martin and Vanderbilt, they didn't score above 40 points. Do you really want to lay two touchdowns on the road? I wouldn't. I think Florida escapes 34-30, and I think the honeymoon period for Lane Kiffin lasts another week.
All right. Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. Lee, what's going on this weekend, man?
So we won last weekend, and we won every weekend so far this year. Now, I don't know many services or people that are betting can make that claim, and so we hit on our first 40 to 50 unit play on Central Florida. I found another game that no one's looking at where the line's off by at least 7 to 10 points. So it'll be another 40 to 50 unit release. We're over 75% on these releases going back the last dozen years since we went to the 10 to 50 unit rating system. And they want to hop on board. Normally you've got to be a monthly or season subscriber to get the 40 to 50 unit releases. Usually we just have promo packs for the week. And I'm gonna open it up. I just know if I give someone a really low price and I'm going to make it $97, they can turn less than a $100 investment into making $1,500 or $3,000. So this is what I'm going to do. You're going to get everything in college football on Saturday, including my 40 to 50 unit play, 4 or 5 plays. Everything in the NFL, 4 or 5 plays on Sunday. The Monday night game. And I'm going to throw in also a 50-unit UFC parlay. We've won 17 of the 20 UFC cards, and we hit the last 2 weekends both UFC 50-unit selections. So everything in football, I'm throwing in UFC and basketball. We're on a 7-2-1 run the last 10 plays in the NBA. Everything, $97. It's available right now, ParamountSports.com.
Lee Sterling on the Out of Bounds Show. All right, Lee, Mississippi State and Baton Rouge, no home field advantage for LSU. The line's 17. Can the Pirate Mike Leach cover?
I think there's a chance, yeah. Now, last year's game, it was pretty close for a while. In fact, I think it was a 2-point game going into the fourth quarter. Then LSU pulled away, won 36-13. But they were +3 in turnover ratio in that game. I don't see them being +3 in turnover ratio, even though their defense will be their stronger unit to start off. I just think that this is where Mike Leach and the Pirate does his best work. He was 14-6 the last 5 years at Washington State as an underdog, and he brings along a defensive coach A lot of people aren't familiar with Zach Arnett, but he's a Rocky Long disciple from San Diego State, and they run that unorthodox 3-3-5 defense and throw some different looks at a young quarterback that usually presents some problems. And bringing in KJ Costello when he's healthy, one of the top 15 quarterbacks in the country, I think it's going to help out. I think they got a shot to keep this close. I think LSU wins 37-23. But I think State covers.
Okay, Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. He's got another 40 to 50 unit play, and he's throwing in UFC and NBA. $97. ParamountSports.com. Lee, Kentucky Auburn. Upset, or does Auburn and Bo Nix take care of business tomorrow?
Well, I love Bo Nix. I mean, by the time he's a senior, it's going to feel like he's been around for about 15 or 20 years, and he's going to get better. But new offensive coordinator, Chad Morris. No spring practices, lost 4 or 5 starting offensive linemen. Kentucky, on the other hand, they bring back Terry Wilson, and he was the quarterback 2 years ago that led them to a 10-3 record. Is he an NFL quarterback? No. But the guy moves chains. He throws good enough, and he can scramble over 500 rushing yards 2 years ago. And they're just going to muck up the game. That's Kentucky football. Just stay in the game. And the reason for the most improvement for Kentucky is their offensive and defensive lines. They used to be down there at the bottom of the heap, bottom 3, bottom 4 teams in the SEC. I think they're in the second tier after the LSUs, Georgia, Florida, and Alabama's as far as their offensive and defensive lines. They're that much improved. And Gus Malzahn, he does not do good work as a Jordan Hare SEC favorite. Just 4-11 the last 15 games. Upset of the weekend here. Wrong team's favored. Kentucky outright 24-21 over Auburn.
Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com on the Coors Light guest line. Okay. Yep. Green Bay and New Orleans. Breeze doesn't look good. Some people are asking if he's a shot fighter. Obviously a Hall of Famer. Great player. Aaron Rodgers is on fire, and that Green Bay offensive line looks really good, Lee. What's going on in New Orleans?
You know, I don't know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers, but let me tell you something. He is on a mission. I don't know whether, it's drafting that quarterback in the first round that's really lit a fire under him, or maybe, who knows, maybe he got dumped, by Danica Patrick. We're not sure. But whatever it is, he's playing at a high level. Normally it's really tough to play against conference, and even then you get to the division opponents. Division opponents usually know you inside and out, but he's put up 40-plus points on 2 straight division opponents here. And New Orleans, without Michael Thomas at receiver, they just don't have that big strike capability here. And even if he plays, I think Breeze, this is definitely his last year. He just doesn't have it anymore. Looks the same in the uniform, but not the same right now. And I think Green Bay pulls the upset 31-28.
And this could be a close game tomorrow. Tennessee and South Carolina, Lee, and Tennessee is only about a 3-point favorite. That's your game of the week.
Yeah, big game here. Tennessee on a roll, those 6 straight wins to end the year. They like to keep it going. Recruiting-wise, you stay on a roll, and the recruits want to come. And is this the year that they finally start turning it around and get into the upper echelon of the SEC? Maybe battle. This might be the year that Florida and Georgia are vulnerable. So we're going to find out that. South Carolina must-win season for Will Muschamp. He needs this game here, I think, and he's got to have a winning record to save his job. So love this game. You want to get it, just call 800-400-9741. I'll give you Tennessee and South Carolina for free. And, don't wait, people. Don't wait until November or December and say, help me out of the hole. Now's the time. I'm red hot, seeing things really well, working hard, got to put in a few extra hours to spot all these injuries and who's sitting out. But, you don't mind when you're winning, and that's what it's all about right now, the entire weekend. $97, ParamountSports.com.
Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com on the Out of Bounds show. Lee, have a super weekend, buddy.
You too, Bo. Have a great weekend and stay safe.
ParamountSports.com. Now, first 10 callers get the Tennessee-South Carolina game. 800-400-9741. First 10 callers, you get that for free. Tennessee-South Carolina. He obviously sees something there. 800-400-9741. Lee joined us on the Coors Light guest line. Guess what? It's National Quesadilla Day.